Call to order the October 2nd committee meeting of the Harris County Board of Education. At this time, that will take us to item B, that the Harris County Board of Education review and approve the October 2nd, 2025 monthly committee meeting agenda as presented. Do I have a motion? Mr. Goodnow, second. Mr. Johnston, any discussion? All in favor? And at this time, I will entertain a motion that we be excused to executive session to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action, or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee, or to interview applicants for the position of superintendent, to discuss or vote to authorize negotiations to purchase, dispose of, or lease property, authorize ordering an appraisal related to the acquisition or disposal of real estate, enter into contract to purchase, dispose of, or lease property subject to approval in a subsequent public vote, to review an appeal from a student disciplinary tribunal, to consider a matter involving the disclosure of personally identifiable information from a student's educational record, to discuss records that are otherwise protected from disclosure under the Open Records Act, and there is no reasonable means to consider the records without closing the meeting, and to discuss the school safety plan. Do I have a motion? Mr. Proctor, second. Mr. Green, any discussion? All in favor? We stand adjourned to executive session.
2.
At this time, I will entertain a motion that we exit executive session. Ms. Oliver, second. Mr. Goodnow, any discussion? All in favor? All right, so that will take us to item E on our agenda. This is the public participation portion of our meeting. Dr. Finney, do we have any members of the public sign up to speak this evening?
We have no one that has contacted me to speak, nor have we had anybody sign up on the agenda back in the back.
All right. So that will take us to item F, that the Harris County Board of Education review the attached meeting minutes from the board meetings held in September of 2025. Those are in your packets. I trust that you will review those. And if you have any revisions, please get with Ashley so that she can get that changed so that we can approve this at our next meeting. So that will take us to our discussion agenda and item G1, that the Harris County Board of Education listen to a curriculum update from Dr. Denny and Dr. Patterson. Good evening.
Hello. So good to see you tonight. I know that you've already seen these documents, but I'm here to just elaborate for a second with you and celebrate with you and see if you have any questions about them. So this is every October, we do get the previous graduating class SAT participation and scores. If you will look with me on the first page of our section, you can see a report that I know you've enjoyed seeing in the past, how Harris County School District compares to the other school districts in our area as far as having specific scores and participation. And then at the bottom, what's in gray are districts. At the bottom of that page are schools. You have certain schools that you always ask me about, so I wanted to go ahead and put that in there for you. So as far as state ranking goes, our district tied for 13th in the state. And our school tied for 53rd in the state. So those are some amazing numbers. And if you will go to the second page with me, then you can see our historical data. And I don't really overanalyze this because we've had some years where we've had waivers. The University System of Georgia required the SAT or required a college entrance exam in 2018 and 2019. And then in 2020, it was waived, 2021 and 2022 and 2023. But now in 2024, most of our schools, our colleges and secondary schools waived it, but the University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Georgia College and State University required it in 2024 and in 2025. And just so you know where this is headed, next year, that has expanded to 7 more colleges or universities in the state of Georgia. So next year, UGA, Georgia Tech, Georgia College, and State University will continue. Georgia State University, Augusta University, Kennesaw State, and Georgia Southern will also be requiring a college entrance exam. So what that will do is that's going to probably impact our numbers on the participation. The next report that we get, you have found this to be interesting. I know, and I like to see it too. Where are our kids going? When they sign up to take the SAT, they request that their scores go to schools. And it's always interesting to see where our kids want their reports to go. And then the last report, this one is probably my favorite as a curriculum director because I like to see what our kids are indicating is their area of career choice, the area that they want to major in. And it does align very beautifully with the courses that we offer at Harris County High School. And that tells me that we have some good teachers providing inspiration for our kids to go on into those career fields. Now, there are some. We have some strong programs. We have a really strong construction program, and none of the kids indicated that, but they don't really have to go to a university to pursue a career in construction. Do you have any questions for me at this time? All right. Thank you.
No, ma'am. Thank you. All right, so that will take us to item G2, that the Harris County Board of Education listen to a human resources update from Ms. Carlisle. Good evening.
Good evening. All right. It's good to be with you. Here we are in October, if you can believe it. And usually I would say in HR, there's something always going on, but just kind of reviewing statistics from last year, we're at a really stable place as far as employment goes. Our teacher retention, looking back, our teacher retention rate for this past year is over 91%. And that exceeds the state average that they're reporting could be anywhere from 86 to 89%. So just kind of looking back to look forward, planning ahead, we're in a good place. And as you can see, as far as vacancies posted, some of these we've discussed. We talked about how Mr. Vowell is going to reach out and do an initiative where we recruit more bus drivers and bus monitors, because we've really kept those positions staffed really well. So he's doing an outreach at the rec center this year. So he's going to do that, try to bring some of those retirees on board. So we're happy to support him. We have a couple of special education paraprofessionals. They're being added to a couple of schools due to caseloads. So those are our vacancies, and we've got bus drivers coming on board right now, and we're really pleased with that. And updates. No, sir. No, sir. I would expect once graduations start happening in December, and then maybe more towards January, February, when people can start thinking about employment for the next year, that would be our prime time. But the high school is adjusting. So, but that's still the plan. So I didn't want to take that down, because you never know when the right person might come across that post. So that is still there. This past month, we did HR team, Ginger Fitzpatrick and I, we went to schools and did 18 sessions just to do an overview on the new Harris County School District handbook. And that was great to be in the schools and to talk with the teachers. Many of those were in small groups. Some of those were whole group faculty. So that was just great to be with the schools. We have 100% signed off on that. So that's really good. Substitute teachers, that's something you have to continually maintain an active pool. So we've got about 104 currently active, and we continue to recruit and train. And usually our annual compliance module director, it's an online training. Normally that is issued, teachers really at once, some of them like to get it in July to get ahead of it. This year there were updates, so it didn't release until September. So those were released September through this month. Teachers and staff are completing those, and those are just the modules there. The artificial intelligence for educators, responsible use, that is a new module. And I think that met some of the criteria and requirements for curriculum instruction. So that was easy to plug in right there. But that's where we are. And believe it or not, we're already looking ahead for next year. You know, once we get school started, it's time to plan for the next year. So. As a substitute, you can either choose to take on a parapro position or a teacher position. Either or. Yes, the pay scale differs based on certification. Yes.
Ms. Carla, I know you did these just not long ago, and we're talking about preparing for next year already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know, based off of retention surveys or whatever it is, the stuff, that we know how many teachers are looking to retire in the next frame, 1 year, 2 years?
Funny you asked that. We were running a tracker on that today. I was looking at that this afternoon. I'm not really ready to get it formatted, but what we do is we look at years of service according to the TRS, and we try to put it into groups of eligible, fully eligible with no penalty based on age and years of service, and then eligible based on age. So informally, very loosely, like 2 hours ago, it looks like about right now, 9 teachers, and I kind of looked at that, about 9 teachers, 1 elementary, 2 math in the anywhere from intermediate to middle, 2 social studies intermediate to middle, 2 ELA intermediate to middle, and a couple others that would be based on the stats. Now, that doesn't mean we can expect that with, life circumstances can change that. So I'm already kind of looking at that and then, looking at administration as well. So planning ahead, already talking with administrators today saying, hey, you got quite a group, especially in that anywhere from 5 to 8, that band of grade levels and subject areas. So it's time. Usually October, November is when we start kind of putting out feelers to make plans, because we do want to recruit early, like you were saying, for the ag teacher. So looking at that, looking at the trackers, look at what we can expect, looking at what to expect over time, targeting subject areas, because we're actually doing interviews of December graduates next week, and we'll continue to move in that direction. So we are looking in that direction, and we will get intent forms.
Like this, we need that. We really. Do you really have any positions that you're looking at that you really want to emphasize for next year?
The school psychology position is a critical need. We've got someone in the pipeline, Mr. Philip Johnson. We're working on that. So that's coming along. We're always looking at our special education certifications across the district. So that is, we took a different approach last year, and we had one day focused on special education, brought the principals here, brought Mr. Philip Johnson here, brought in directors, and really just kind of had great conversations. And we recruited, I forget, high percentage of the people that came. One of our teachers at the LEAP program, he was so interested, he had come down from like Stone Mountain. He decided, we're like, hey, come see the program. He stayed overnight, came over, spent the day, perfect fit. So that was one of our most effective outreaches last year. And we're going to continue to do things a little bit different. Might need to be after hours, might need to be on the weekend, whatever it takes. We want to make it easy for people to come out and get to know us, give them opportunities to learn more about our programs. And, special ed, that's special education, that's a broad, as far as what fit is right for what person. So we want to really make sure we get the right people for that. Okay.
Very good. Any other questions for Ms. Carlisle?
Okay. All right.
ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, so that will take us to item G3, that the Harris County Board of Education listen to a support services update from Ms. Baker. Good evening.
So this evening, I have about 4 topics that I want to just discuss briefly with you. And the first one is a program that we're implementing at Creekside that's called Project Power for Youth. And this program is sponsored by CareSource, which is one of our partners, as you know, that is already partnered with Park as well as Harris County High School. But they are wanting to expand that partnership. So they have partnered with the American Diabetes Association to sponsor this program, which is a program for children ages 5 through 12. And the purpose of the program is to focus on preventing childhood obesity as well as diabetes. So it helps children learn about healthy eating. It teaches them to stay active and to build some of those lifelong habits that prevent them from having those issues later on in life. The program will be taught to 1 grade level at Creekside, and it's going to be led by the PE teacher. So we're looking at about 400 students that will be affected from the piloting of this program. The staff will be trained by the CareSource or the American Diabetes Association staff. All supplies, all funding for this will be covered by either CareSource or the American Diabetes Association. And the great thing about this is at the end of the program, which is about a 9-week program from late October until December, the school will receive a $1,000 stipend. So we're glad of that, that can go to Mrs. Sappington and her staff. So we thank Mrs. Sappington for agreeing to allow for this to be taking place into her school. Okay.
Very good.
And then my next topic is a question that was asked of me at the last meeting. We did not have these numbers ready for you, but these are just the participation rates that compare August 2024 school nutrition. You're welcome, to this year, August 2025. So you have those numbers readily available for you. So I'll let you look at those for a moment to see if you have any questions about them.
Ms. Baker, is this hard information to get?
It's not hard information to get, but when you ask for it, we just did not think, because what we do is give you the previous month. So when we gave you July, we weren't even thinking about the August. Not for July, no. So that's why you didn't have it last time, but no, we can carry this over because this is going to be standing. So next year in August, we can have the same data ready.
So kind of on those same lines, and I may be asking too much, so I apologize if I am. So on this report, I think we used to get previous month participation as well, if I'm not mistaken. Is that, so like an example, we're in October, right? So we would get a September's participation, or September and August, right? We'd have those two. Is there a way to get year over year and month to month?
So you would want three separate columns.
So
is what
what
you're
I
saying.
would be interested in is also in here, putting what their September participation is. So we can see what has the participation increased from August to September. I don't need year over year on that aspect of it, just to compare August 25 to September 25. So we can say, okay, is the participation increasing month over month as well versus year over year?
That's what we give you every month. We do get that too. So you'll have that in your information for this month when we give you the financial
We get the
report.
financial,
Yes.
okay.
So the only month that you do not get that is for August, because August doesn't have a previous month. But from September forward, you will have that. You're welcome.
It seemed like the lunch price increase have any effect on participation?
I don't think so.
It hadn't affected me now.
It is definitely the best deal in town. Yes. Okay, so if there are no questions about the participation comparisons from August 24 to August 25, my next topic is still with school nutrition. And for the 7th year, and I'm going on that because this is my 7th school year here, so I don't know what happened before, our school cafeterias have again received 100% on all of their cafeteria ratings. So we're very, very,
Very good.
proud of them. Yes. And you have a proclamation that's coming up, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I was told to make sure that I invited you to whatever school cafeteria you want to go to during School Nutrition Week on October 14th, which you see the 13th is not there because that's a holiday, so they will not be serving, but from the 14th to the 17th, please, if you can, go by any school cafeteria to look at what they're doing for School Nutrition Week. And Mrs. Baggett at Creekside especially invites you to her school because she's a local president of the SNA, which is the School Nutrition Association. So this gives her bragging rights, and she does a really phenomenal job of decorating and making this a big deal. So she can brag on this and post it to show what Harris County is doing. So if you all can go by Creekside, if no other school, we would definitely appreciate it. This is National School Lunch Week. It's not National School Breakfast Week, so you can go back for breakfast. I'm sure she would love to see you. National School Lunch Week. Yes, yes, yes. No problem. No, no. They are hoping, just show up. They're hoping that you're gonna come. And I was also told to tell you that Harris County High School is serving wings tomorrow. Serving wings tomorrow. Well, see, next Friday would be the day, but we have exams. So they wanted to make sure the kids got them this week, just in case they have early release. I'm not sure what the flavors are, but I can find out and text you later.
You bring your own sauce.
Yes. Yeah. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to address those. If not, then. Yes. And Creekside. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome.
So that will take us to item G4, that the Harris County Board of Education listen to a business services and technology update from Mr. Fisher. Good evening, sir.
So the season's kind of calmed down. I was finally able to get all my cats herded up into different projects and whatnot. And in the process of that, we discovered an issue at Carver Circle with the roof there. I kind of briefed you all a little bit on that, I believe, last month. They've ordered the materials and the work should start on that either the end of next week or the week after. Those materials should be here in the next few days. Yes, sir. That's the one with the hole in the roof with the election stuff. They called us and let us know, there's water coming through the roof, and we got up there and looked at it, and that's when we found the hole and all. So we had to move quickly on that to get that taken care of.
So is this a total, that whole
Yes,
section
that
of
whole
roof?
section. All the others are kind of flowing to it is what's even making it worse. Because we have the tarp on it right now, but with all that water, when it rains, coming onto that flat surface, it's all going right in there. And so that whole section that houses the those classrooms and whatnot with where the elections people are, that's being replaced.
Do we have any ballpark figure of what that's going to be?
The quote for it was just over $49,000. And we'll be doing it out of SPOS.
And this is a permanent fix. This isn't a
Yes,
temporary fix.
correct. It is a replacement.
Okay.
Maybe the end of next week, depends on the materials getting here, but definitely it should be the week after that, as long as there's no delays in getting materials.
In the next week after it quits raining?
Yeah.
Rest of the week?
I noticed that. I was like, man, we've had all this dryness and now it wants to rain. So any further questions about that?
No.
All right. So additionally, with our contract with our septic service and retention ponds, we discovered an issue at Pine Ridge's septic system. And it's kind of in a dire need of some work. We've already went forth and got the permit needed from the health department. We're going to have to lay 12 100 feet of pipe of new lines in there. So to sum up and kind of make it easy to understand, the current lines and where they are in the ground and whatnot cannot take any more. So right now it's just kind of stuck right there. We've been fortunate that it hasn't backed up into the school.
So,
Exactly.
so Mr. Fisher, when are we going to need, and I'm not a field line sonic professional by any means, and I can't stand septic tanks and field lines, but
Right.
are we gonna be able to put those in the same location, or do we need to move those field lines?
They're going to be put in a different location, but connected to that tank and all. We're
Still
adding
connected to that
it.
tank, okay.
If you remember a couple of years ago, when we did the field lines that were down under the playground, this is a different system than that one. This one's behind the portables.
Mhm.
And over the years or by design, the maps did not match the maps and the schematic didn't match what was actually in the ground. And we found out that the grease trap also goes into that septic tank there behind the portables. So with that capacity, it can no longer take it. So they're going to have to put a new field. If you know where we park our buses, they're going to have to make a new field down towards the bus parking
And we
area.
have to take out those trees.
Yeah.
And they've put in for the locate to do that. And once that locate's done, make sure there's nothing else there. They'll start taking out the trees and get to work on putting in the new lines. Yes, sir. 1,200 total feet.
How far are we from getting that project started?
When locate gets done, they're starting on the trees, as long as there's no issues with where they want to put it.
Then how long of a project is that?
Probably take about 2 weeks is what he was saying, if I remember correctly.
I guess what I'm getting to, is that gonna give us enough time before we get a backup?
Yes,
yes.
yes. I don't have an exact price on that because they're trying to get the tree people in there to get those and all that removed. So I don't have a price on it, but once I have it, I'll definitely be sharing that.
That's plausible.
Yes, sir.
Is there a way we could trench that thing around those things to keep roots and stuff out of them? Because I know I mean, really, I know that's a big
Mhm.
part of what affects those systems is the root growth going back toward water and fertilizer and all that good stuff, just to put it lightly. Is there a way to like trench that to try to keep some of the roots out of there?
There's some swells and stuff that they can put in there. And if you look at, that's one reason we did this contract for the detention ponds and the septic field maintenance. If you go down there behind Mulberry Creek, now you see a big open field. Up until last year, it had grown trees up over that septic field, and we were having those same problems. And so part of that is, yes, grading those swells, those drainage swells where the most water will be channeled around the field, so it's not soaking in on top of the field lines.
And then also, I know, I think my son does this at his house for his septic system. Like there's like a root killer, I think, that you can actually put in, like pour down your toilet and flush it to have a,
Yeah.
kind of a deal, and to kind of call it root rot, I guess, or something like
Something
that.
like that. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it though.
But I mean, I'm trying to think of all things that could be exhausted to try to make the life expectancy on those things a whole lot longer.
Well, and with this septic service contract, they go in and pump them regularly now. So, and that's how we know that once we get it, we're not going to have the problem going in, backing up into the school and whatnot. That's how we discovered all this, was because they were going to do that. Right.
How big is that tank over there? Was it multiple tanks?
Well, I mean, there's multiple systems. I don't know what the size of that tank is, but I'll definitely get that.
I think that tank is about 3,000 gallons, the one we're talking about now.
So I've got different tanks in my head. So that number was sticking out, but
It's really not a huge tank. It's really not a huge tank, and it really affects the kitchen and the portables. It doesn't affect the main building. Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they are. Now we discovered that. All right. All right. Next, we got the network upgrade at the high school that got completed last month. It was E-rate funded. Remember last year, we did a lot of our other campuses, and this year it was time for the high school to get theirs. They were eligible for that E-rate funding. So we've completed that, and that upgraded the wiring, the wireless, adding those new wireless access points, and the new licensing that goes with those access points, because you have to have a so many year license for each access point. So that all got completed last week. I mean, not last week, last month, sorry.
So does the funding for that, do we do it after we do the work? or-
We get reimbursed on that. All right, and then turning the page on my next two things, we have our chart about our strategics alerts. You know, we went active with that, and just this kind of gives you a quick overview of the kind of alerts we've had. We've had a couple of drills. We're finding some little things here and there that aren't quite working the way they should. We're addressing those. One of the intercoms didn't work right. We've gotten a new module put in. We're going to be testing that soon. It just got put in today when we received it yesterday. But you can see most of them are staff alerts with different things, student emergencies, medical emergencies, or some kind of altercation. That's most of them. And this kind of gives you a week by week on that first chart of how many alerts have been issued with that system.
Is this all schools?
Yes, this is the whole district. Because you notice there's one of the alerts was actually for the here central office where we're doing the drill on it. Running.
Runner. I'm sorry.
Any questions about that?
I actually had the pleasure of seeing a staff alert in action today when I was at Mulberry Creek for an elopement. Worked just as it should. And the principal looked right down at her phone, saw right where it was, knew exactly who it was, went right down there to the issue. So it's working just like it should.
Very good.
All right. And then lastly, we have our Evolve statistics for the month of September. That hopefully you can see it a lot better this month than you could last month. I went in and kind of highlighted the numbers and bolded them to make them a little bit easier to read. And you see we're averaging about that 10% ballpark of alerts across the district. What that is something's alerting in the bag, they go do that secondary search. The top row of graphs right there is how many people went through the system that week. That first week is a little bit lower because we had Labor Day that week. So it was only a 4-day week. And then the last one is this week. And when I did this, it was just the 1 day.
This is for all systems across.
Yes, sir.
Right.
The whole district. As far as nothing abnormal, like it's normally something that they forgot they had in there, things like that.
That's what I was gonna ask. What kind of items are being picked up?
Sometimes it's a different binder they forget they had in there. And what we're finding is on the pass around, the student is triggering the photo cell before it gets passed around. So it's picking that up. So when I say Chromebooks, that's why, things like that. It's inadvertent ones that are happening. No weapons. That's all I have for you tonight.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
All right, so that will take us to item G5, that the Harris County Board of Education listen to a superintendent update from Dr. Finney.
Okay, good evening. Tuesday, October 21st, just a reminder, is our quarterly retreat. We will have Dr. Steve Smith here, and he will be giving our required whole board training as required by GSBA. That will start at 4 p.m. FTE and CPI, the other half of our budget and allotment is underway. We actually have our first reporting date on the 7th, I believe. It's not the 7th, it's the 8th, where we will do our first submission for all of the students that we have coded as far as what categories they fall in for funding. So I just want to commend everybody for doing a great job. Ms. Baker on the FTE side has led that effort with the SIS team, the HR team with Ms. Carlisle, and them have done the certified personnel index on that side. And they are really going to maximize our funding, and we're already seeing a benefit in that. So we're looking forward to those first transmissions next week. We held our first aspiring leaders session last week, and we had 5 really good aspiring leaders, and the ones that are aspiring to be assistant superintendents. And it was a good first session, some very strong candidates. And in November, we will be starting our aspiring principals cohort. And that first session, we should have about 7 candidates in that one. So I'm thankful that people are participating in this good professional development. And it's going to be really good for us. I did have a couple of other things, but I'm going to save that for news and information. I think it fits better there. And that's really all I have at this point. Any questions for me?
All right, so that will take us to our action agenda and item H1, that the Harris County Board of Education review the tabled proposed attached policy revision request to board policy IFBG, internet acceptable use. Dr. Finney?
So if you recall, House Bill 268 requires every school district in the state of Georgia to upgrade their acceptable use policies with regards to internet safety and most of all, social media. And so these are the policies that we presented last month that had to be tabled for 30 days. If we accept them and pass them, then we will have to upload them with the state to meet the requirements of House Bill 268. I appreciate Jonathan Smith working on this to get all of the requirements in there. I am subject to any questions you might have on this.
Yes, so your action agenda items H1, H2, and H3 are all tabled policies. They will all be voted on next week. All right, so that will take us to item H2, that the Harris County Board of Education review the attached tabled proposed request to adopt policy exhibit IFBG-E 11, Internet acceptable use social media.
Yes, so where IFBG policy outlined the responsibilities of students and staff with regard to acceptable use policies, this one specifically meets the requirements of House Bill 268 because it is internet acceptable use social media specific. And this is a required component of this policy for social media.
All right. And that will take us to item H3, that the Harris County Board of Education review the attached tabled proposed request to revise board policy JBCB non-resident students. Dr. Finney.
So the one small modification to this policy is we took out the requirement or allowing parents to use the passport as an acceptable proof of residence because the passport does not have an address on it. And so we felt that that was kind of irrelevant. And so that was the only small modification to this policy.
Very good. All right, and that will take us to item H4, that the Harris County Board of Education proclaims the week of October 13th through 17th, 2025 as National School Lunch Week by presenting the attached proclamation during the monthly regular meeting on Thursday, October 9th, 2025. As Ms. Baker talked about when she was up, I will read this proclamation and present this to her and any of her staff that wants to be here for that next week on the 9th. All right, so that will take us to item H5, that the Harris County Board of Education proclaims the week of October 20th through 2025 as National School Bus Safety Week by presenting the attached proclamation during the monthly regular meeting on Thursday, October 9th, 2025. Mr. Fisher, I would also extend an invitation to your transportation director and any members of the transportation division that want to come and receive that proclamation. They would be very welcome. All right, so that's going to take us to our consent agenda and item I1, that the Harris County Board of Education review the attached major purchases report for September of 2025.
And as you can see, this one is a lot shorter than the one was last month, as we had all of the major expenditures that we needed, to get the school year up and running.
And I see the Hopewell septic field testing. That is the property that we own on Hopewell Church Road, getting tested because as part of the state mandates, if you're going to use it as a school site, you have to have all that
Correct. Yes, sir.
submitted.
Yes, sir.
Not that that's where a school is going to go, but we have to even know if we could put a school there with a septic tank, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions regarding the major purchases report?
Is this one the final payment on this track and field?
Yes. Yes, that's the final payment.
All right. All right, so that will take us to item I2, that the Harris County Board of Education review the attached financial report for September of 2025.
So if you look at the report, we're right where we need to be. Actually, at this time of the month, you will, or at this time of the year, you see that percentage of expenditures just a little bit higher, but that takes into account the amount that we had to spend to get the school year up and running. You'll look at the remaining fund balance there, which is 2,432,000 plus some more. That is about right where we were at this same time last year. So it is going to be very tight getting to December. Working very close with Ms. Seha to monitor all of that. We have asked the principals and departments to really tighten up their spending. I'm providing more oversight in the purchase orders right now to make sure that everything we're doing is essential. We're going to provide everything we need to operate and for every student to get a good instructional experience. And we did it last year and we'll make it this year. But we get to that tax allotment in December. So we've got a good plan. The East Blos funds are very strong. You can see down there, and am I jumping ahead on the East Blos? Yeah, probably on the East Blos graph, you'll see that we will be coming up this year, ending East Blos 6, where we will start into East Blos 7. But you'll see that graph later.
All right. So that will take us to item I3, that the Harris County Board of Education review the attached enrollment report for September of 2025. Anyone have any questions regarding that?
I'm always curious about the dual enrollment. Do these get counted in our FTE?
Yes, they do. Yes. The state legislature has gone back and forth several times about the dual enrollment, either giving it to the school district or the university, but they have not changed that yet.
All right, so that will take us to item I.
Mention one thing.
Yes, go ahead.
I think everyone is aware that October 14th, Harry may know, is the attendance protocol meeting for this month.
Thank you. All right, so that will take us to item I4, that the Harris County Board of Education review the findings and recommendations from Robinson, Grimes and Company of the FY25 audit on principals accounts. Dr. Finney, did you want to talk about this?
Well, there's a lot of information in here, but according to the audit, everything is in order unless I'm missing something, Ms. Seha. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So take a look at that. If you have any questions, please let myself or Ms. Seha know.
Does anyone have any other questions? I trust you'll get an opportunity, or you will review that. And if you have additional questions, we can address those next week before we vote to approve that. All right, so that's going to take us to item J. This is the portion of the meeting where members of the Board of Education share news and information they may have with the public. And this evening, I'm going to start with Mr. Proctor.
I don't have anything.
Mr. Johnson.
I'm looking forward to our school visit next week. I have only been on here a short time, but I enjoy those thoroughly. I'm also proud of all of our sports teams. They seem to be doing very well. And I am very proud of how the school year started. It seems to have started in no glitches so far.
Very good. Mr. Green.
First of all, I want to shout out a special recognition to all those ladies sitting in the back corner and recognize each one of them for what they do every day as we celebrate Principal Appreciation Month. So thank y'all to each one of y'all back there. Appreciate y'all. And also to your APs as well. So thank y'all very much. I will say congratulations to the Harris County Sound of the County for earning superior ratings and finishing first in their class and third overall at the Phoenix City Invitational. I think that was this past weekend, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then also congratulations to our Lady Tiger softball team on winning the region championship this year. So congratulations to those ladies and continued success on your drive to repeat. So congratulations to them. And then also congratulations to our Harris County Carver Middle School Lady Tigers volleyball team on another successful season. I think this is what, number 8 in a row, something like that. I've done lost count, honestly. Is it 9? I've done lost count, honestly, on their championship and another undefeated season. So congratulations to those ladies as well. And I am too looking forward to our visit next week with Dr. Dalford. So looking forward to that. And again, thank y'all for everything that y'all do, both our assistant superintendents and again, you ladies back there in the back. Thank y'all.
Mr. Goodnow.
There again, appreciate all the teachers and educators. Like I say, tell us in our test scores. We know how well those work. I know several of us had a chance to go with Dr. Finney to the GOP meeting. That went really well. I thought we'd have more questions than we had, but everyone seemed to be interested and pretty much satisfied. In regards to, I'd like to thank the school system on behalf of the Red Knights and the VFW Riders, Post 10558 for allowing them to use the STC for the fundraiser in the Wheels of Fire that was this weekend. It went relatively well since there was a lapse, and the chamber did it in the past, but they took it upon themselves to do it. And I turned out pretty good. They had some students there that talked about, that program and graduating from it and getting a job. And we got to come into the building and see it. And a lot of them were firefighters and retired chiefs and all. So they were really impressed with that. And but I'm looking forward to visit Park, and that's it.
Ms. Oliver.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed going to Mulberry Creek for the presentation for the John Hancock banner. That was great to see them and to see all the back wall covered with the signatures of all the students who had accomplished that. And so it was really a blessing to see that. And he gave out a signed, he gave out a copy of the Constitution, wasn't it?
Constitution, they put it in
Yes, and I was so proud of the students, the fourth graders. Each one of them, as they handed out those booklets, each one of them said thank you. And it was just such a blessing to have them be so polite and so kind to receive that gift. And then to have the joint meeting of the Board of Commissioners and to have the meeting with the school board this week or last week. What week was that? Last week, yeah. I know, it's going fast. And so that was a wonderful coming together, having a nice conversation about where we are as a county and as leaders in the county to really look for ways, put our heads together and look for ways to be the best stewards that we can be of what we've been charged with. So just wanted to let everyone know we did have the meeting. It was successful. And we had a really nice time, and the ball is rolling in the right direction. So it was great. So thank you to the Board of Commissioners for coming to that. It was great.
Dr. Sparks.
First, I'd like to thank everybody here, or the teams that you represent, for the information that you provide to us daily, weekly, as we need it to help us run efficiently and legally. It may look seamless and easy, but a lot of boards are not in as great a shape as we are, and they're having substantial legal issues. And so I appreciate all of your efforts. I want to thank Principal Snyder and her team, both faculty and students, for the visit last week. And I want to let you know that my plant is still alive. I'm very excited about it. And I too enjoyed that joint meeting. I feel like we're on the path to a developing a productive working relationship, and I'm looking forward to that. Thanks again to everyone for all you do. That's it. Mr. Chair.
Dr. Finney?
Yes, along with the next visit at Park, which we're very much looking forward to, we're also looking forward to the next opening, which will be New Mountain Hill next week. On October 7th, you have your choice of two activities that you can take place in if you so desire. Bubba Longrear, who is running for the state superintendent position this year. This is not an endorsement of Mr. Longrear, but he is having an informational session, I think at Mr. Titus's building up here on the square. So if you're interested to find out more about what Mr. Bubba Longrear has to offer the state superintendent position, you may be interested in attending that. On the same night, Carpenter's Way is having their open house, their yearly open house, which is, if you haven't been to one of those, I would recommend going to one of those. I'll have Ashley get us the time. She gave it to me, but it slips me at this point. I didn't write it down, so I will make sure that we get that information to you, but that would be October 7th. Okay, thank you. 5:36. I think one of them's a meet and greet and the other one, well, maybe. Okay, good. Thank you. As mentioned, it is National Principal Appreciation Month in October, and I can't say enough how much this team of administrators does for the students and staff of Harris County. You know, when you look at the data that we've been getting as far as test scores and graduation rates and SAT scores and all of that, you know, in almost every academic metric, we are growing or excelling. And that starts with the leadership at that school. And so I just want to thank each one of them for everything they do at those schools. So thank you. I think that's all I have that hasn't been mentioned so far. Oh, today, October 2nd, is Custodian Appreciation Day. I think Custodian Appreciation, I think maybe they need a month of appreciation. But seriously, our custodians work very hard. We've got a great group of custodians, and we could not do what we do every day without them. We couldn't do what we do every day without everybody that contributes every day. So thank you. That's it. Yes, sir.
I too want to echo the sentiments. Of course, Mr. Green goes down the list and gets all of them. When he writes, I had them all written down too, sir. But you missed one. The middle school robotics team.
There you go.
They went and competed in Forsyth. I think this was our inaugural time competing in that and learned a lot. It was the Vex IQ tournament or something like that. It was a kickoff school bash. But learned a lot, had a lot of fun, and look forward to watching that team do great things. Ms. Dalfett, looking forward to visiting with you guys next week. And of course, it was already said by Mr. Green and others, but being a son of a former principal, I know what you go through. Trust me. There ought to be a day for principals' kid, or a month for principals' kids, and a month for principal spouses too, because they go through a lot too. But thank you all for what you do day in and day out. We couldn't run without you guys. You make it work. So thank you. And thank you for the sacrifices you make away from your family time to do things at your schools and things like that. That doesn't go unnoticed either. So thank you all. And to revisit the joint meeting with the commissioners, I felt that that was a very good meeting. I think we're both committed, both groups are committed to working in the same direction to try to find ways of getting some relief to our taxpayers. It's going to be a long road, but we're going to get there. They have some good ideas and they have some good people that they've brought in that are steering development and things like that, and they're working hard. So we look forward to continuing to work with that group. And the next meeting will be they will host, correct? They're going to host. Will it be before the end of the year?
I'll have to get that
Okay.
date worked out with Mr. Grant and Andrea.
But it was a very good meeting. So looking forward to our next one. So with there being no further business, I will make a motion that.
I had one thing.
Yes, sir.
I believe tomorrow is the homecoming football game. And so I look forward to being there as usual.
But I wanted, is tomorrow when we recognize the teachers?
No.
No. Yep. Everybody good? All right, so now I will make the motion that we adjourn for the evening. Seconded, Mr. Green. Any discussion? All in favor? We stand adjourned. So